Edge now. Oh,
I could, yeah, but okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Euros knockout rounds preview for the Footy Report podcast. And as usual, it's me, Amshuman, and with me is Ayush. We've already set up the screen share for the knockout stage teams and the fixtures that are going to be there, so that yeah, for this is a one time thing. Like we won't do this. It won't be this shit looking basically next time. We'll improve on it definitely, and so bear with us for this one turn because I think we'll preview the quarterfinals as well, and then we'll have a much. We might even have some editing things that we can do, like some markings that we can make on it, and so we can play around with it a bit more basically. So
fair enough.
enough about that, and let's get into the fixtures. So let's start with the more interesting side of the bracket. We'll start from the left. We'll start with Belgium versus Portugal, the big blockbuster round of 16 fixture that we have. And give me your thoughts, Ayush. Let's see, let's hear how what you think and who's going to win and how it's going to go.
I think I'm not sure if a lot of people have this opinion, but I see Portugal coming out on top of this group, at least against Belgium, because I'll
Hmm.
have a lot of explaining factors. Like I'll explain, like firstly,
Go ahead.
Portugal have been a part of the group of death. Okay, as in
Hmm.
like even though people might not consider it the biggest deal, it is quite big of a deal to face two of your
Hmm.
competitors who are going for the trophy and who have
Hmm.
like an equal claim to that trophy as you have the
Yeah.
squad players and everything, and like they're established nations in the Euros, and you've held your own against them. Okay, fine. Germany they lost. France they played well. I mean, they still have experience. It's not even like if Portugal face Germany again, they might have a different outcome or something. So I think
Hmm.
considering how Belgium haven't faced the same competition, like no disrespect to the other Danish and Finland and Russia, but like we have to be
Yeah.
fair, they're not as good as France, Germany, or even Hungary, how they played.
Hmm.
So I think Portugal have that upper edge of facing competition from an early stage, where this might not be the toughest fixtures they faced as of now also against Belgium.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Fair.
considering
Fair. Fair.
how and like considering the unsurety if like how Eden Hazard will perform, he's like that's always an if. How Kevin De Bruyne,
Hmm.
how fit Kevin De Bruyne is, I'm pretty sure he's still not recovered from that Rudiger knockout punch or blow he had, and like his face
Yeah, that
fractures are still
I
there.
think people blame Rudiger too much for it.
I don't blame
It's
Rudiger for
football.
that. Yeah,
These things
I'm
happen.
just saying that Kevin De Bruyne
No, I'm
isn't
not
fit
talking about you.
completely.
We've discussed this before. Like
Oh yeah,
especially on
yeah.
that group chat. Like it was insane. The in
Hate he was getting
the
and everything. Yeah.
yeah yeah.
So yeah, I think Portugal, considering how Renato Sanchez has been playing, and like
Hmm.
he covered Kante in
Hmm.
France, and like he had even in Germany when he was brought on, he had a decent game.
Yeah
I
yeah
think
yeah.
I think Portugal will be going through in this round. How about you, Anshuman? What are your views?
I honestly think the same in the sense that I think Portugal will go through, but
Hmm.
my thinking is a lot more. Well, your point was absolutely right, and that Portugal has faced more adversity in this set of fixtures, in their set of fixtures than Belgium, because Belgium got an easy ride, honestly. But
Hmm.
I think the big battle here is going to be between Portugal's defense and Belgium's attack. Because Portugal is going to
Hmm.
win the attack versus defense battle with Portugal's attack and Belgium's defense. So
Oh, for
Portugal
sure.
have to score. And I don't expect Belgium to be really able to stop them. So the question is whether Belgium can score enough. That is the question. And I think the answer to that question is no.
Hmm.
Because this Portuguese defense is solid. They've got two players who are either in top form, looking like one of the best in the world, or one of the most experienced and more tactically minded defenders around in Pepe. The fullbacks are a huge problem, and Romelu Lukaku can really exploit that. It's a very well balanced match, in my opinion, because
Hmm.
there are a lot of there's a lot of factors which favor Belgium. There's a lot of factors which favor Portugal. But even I honestly think, especially because Fernando Santos is going to go with a defensive setup for this game with holding midfielders rather than Bruno Fernandes, I honestly think Portugal have the edge here, and I think Portugal will expect themselves to go through. And otherwise, I
I think I
yeah, that's it.
back that one point of I don't think Belgium are going to be able to score as much as we think, considering even Romelu Lukaku is amazing. he himself is not exactly the creator. Like he won't be able
Hmm.
to drop back and create the goal. That's De Bruyne's job. And seeing how
Yeah.
Renato Sanchez and like even Danilo Pereira, if they get the hold of Kevin De Bruyne, like Kevin De Bruyne, like Kante got a hold of Kevin De Bruyne in all three Man City Chelsea games, and he was
Hmm.
quite useless even in the Champions League final.
Yeah,
If
but it's
Renato Sanchez
yeah.
plays somewhat of a similar what do you say role in blocking out De Bruyne's passes, I think they shouldn't
Yeah.
be in trouble. And like
I
I get
honestly think
that Kevin
N'Golo
De
Kante is
Bruyne.
the only in the world, one in the world who can actually do who can actually contain Kevin De Bruyne. So
Oh
we'll
yeah,
have to
I'm
disagree on
sure he
that.
will
Yeah.
have some passes. I'm not sure if
Hmm.
Portugal will be able to keep a clean sheet, but I'm
Yeah.
sure they
It's
might
it.
be able to
Yeah.
outscore them.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
I just think like I'm not going to predict who's going to run the game. Like I'm basically what I'm how I'm analyzing this is look at what factors could actually control the game rather than actually predicting which one of them will. Like you can just lay out the factors, right? This might affect it. And that is why I think if Kevin De Bruyne gets a hold of this game and he starts controlling it, and that midfield, because that's a solid midfield that Belgium have, and that's
Tielemans,
a
De
good
Bruyne, yeah, I
midfield.
agree.
It's an excellent attack, and they've got reasonable options off the bench. They're not as good as Portugal, to be honest, but yeah, they
Yeah.
have something. I honestly think Portugal should be, at least on paper, Portugal are the team that has to be favored. But yeah,
Hmm.
if somebody like a Kevin De Bruyne or a Romelu Lukaku really get their hands in and they really hold this game, yeah, Portugal don't look too good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I still
Moving
think
on to the
Portugal will
next
win.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say
let's go to go ahead, Ayush.
Italy versus Austria. I don't see this as a too big of a match for Italy. And even though I don't want them to be overconfident, I'm pretty sure they won't. I still think it'll be much more of a cruise compared to the other games that they're looking
Yes.
ahead for. So,
Yes.
I mean, what else is there to talk about? I don't see any outcomes like unless Austria
Yeah.
get the nation spirit and like they're like we have to do this, a do or die
Hmm.
for us, and like this is the only shot we have, and like they
Yeah,
pull out an
those are
absolute
conventional things. You
masterclass.
don't really have to discuss it. Like it's very obvious. Like
Exactly.
Italy are most likely going to win. Obviously, it's a football game, so Austria have a chance. They always will.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anything
Italy
can
are the
happen.
better team on paper. Italy look in better shape. Italy have figured it
They're in
all out
better
much better.
form. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like all the odds are stacked up against
Hmm.
Austria. So
Hmm.
I don't see it happening any other way. I predict an Italy win. I mean an Italy
Yes.
walkover.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. I don't want to talk about this fixture anymore. Like I think we can move on. And the next fixture is
Exactly.
kind of similar in that opinion, like France versus Switzerland.
Yeah, France, Switzerland.
The same thing. Like France aren't in form, but they're so much better on paper, and Switzerland don't really look that impressive. As I
Plus
talked
the
about
round of
before. Yeah.
16, yeah, plus the round of 16 and knockout stages are a completely different ball game. Even if you're not the
Hmm.
best in the group stage, but you have the
Hmm.
what do you say players and everything, their mentality, it's completely different. Like
Yeah, and it's a World Cup
Ronaldo,
winning team. So it's a
exactly.
World Cup
Like
winning team. That's kind of explains like they have the mental. They know how to win. That's a big factor here, and that's just what it is. They will, because this Switzerland team doesn't know, and this Switzerland team, like, yeah, if France go in too overconfident and stuff like that, it might become a problem. But otherwise, I don't think there is any way. Like there is no weapon that Switzerland has that France can't counter or can't hold or I just don't. I'm not buying it, honestly. I don't buy it.
yeah,
So
I don't
I'm
see
sorry.
Shaqiri outpowering Varane or a Kipembe. So yeah, I
Or
mean,
a N'Golo Kante. If nothing,
oh
if
yeah,
Shaqiri is making hay, just put N'Golo Kante on him, and that problem solved.
his game's finished. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think these are the two fixtures on the left side that we can easily say that yeah,
yeah.
we
We
can
can.
predict the outcomes.
Yeah, let's talk about Croatia, Spain. Let's go there.
Now this is more interesting compared to the last two legs. This is
Yes.
a matchup.
Hmm.
Do you want to go and start off about it?
Yeah, actually, these are two teams who aren't in great form, or they have been very impressive in the past few months, maybe. Spain were impressive, but that the last time they were impressive was that 6-1 thrashing of Germany. They still haven't.
Oh yeah,
I don't personally like Luis Enrique that much and the way he's managing this team. I think
same.
Sergio Busquets coming in has made a huge difference, and because yeah, Sergio Busquets is the kind of player who just helps everybody else around him improve and give them an extra bit of time and give them extra bit of time to make decisions and be impactful. So from that perspective, Spain look better. I don't know how much better they'll be, and this Croatia team, because they were really good against Scotland. But what if that was the one performance that a 35-year-old Luka Modric had in his locker? Because he's 35 years old at the end of the day. You can't expect him to be in and out every damn third day being the best on the pitch. So
At the end of the day, it was also against Scotland. You can't take that out also.
I think Scotland are not being given the credit they deserve because they fought in all those games. They were pretty good. They just the problem is that they have talent only in certain parts of the pitch, and the parts of the pitch they
That's
don't
more
have talent in.
defensively.
They lose
Yeah.
out. They lose out. That's the problem. And
Like they always had the Andy Robertson service, but no one up
yeah,
there to
like Che
finish the
Adams is
service.
pretty good. John McGinn is pretty good. Like there are some players who do well, but there are others that just aren't up to the. Like there are so many. Like there are big holes in that team. That's the problem with talent. Okay, let's go on because we are not here to talk about Scotland. The Croatian team, I still am not buying too much on them. But actually, I will predict them to win because this Spain team, if Alvaro Morata is starting again, the Croatians should already start celebrating. In my
I
opinion,
think the one joke that came out was in the second game where Morata did score. I think he himself thought he was offside. That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
he ended up
It
scoring.
definitely he thought he was offside. It definitely looked like it. It definitely looked like it. And the weird thing about it is, I thought he was unfazed. Like his attitude and the way he carries himself, that he's like, oh yeah, the pressure doesn't affect me kind of attitude. But now the more you look at it, it looks like he does not care. He's either completely lost or he's completely uncaring, like a Marko or Arnautovic or something like that. Like, I couldn't give a shit about this. I have better things to do kind of attitude. I mean, I am not a fan of Alvaro Morata. I'll be very straightforward and honest with you. Anything else to add, or can we talk about the Sweden-Ukraine game?
They disagree with the result. I feel that Spain needed even though they might have like won it against an easier opponent or something against Slovakia, but they needed that 5-goal boost to like their mentality
Yeah.
that okay,
That might help them. Yeah.
Busquets is back. We've actually scored more goals than one in a game. And I think on paper, I think Croatia or anything. But if you look player to player wise, I think Spain have a better squad, considering even their attacking outlets. I'm not sure. Like I hope Gerard Moreno pulls up his socks and he finally shows what he's been doing for Villarreal, being the target man and everything, and like he scores goals. And like I can't see that happening against Croatia. And I think it's time for Spain to get serious with their finishing. I don't think they're going to go in like even Luis Enrique has the brains that okay, tiki taka is not exactly what we need. If we're going to have tiki taka, it has to be attacking tiki taka. We have to constantly move the ball upwards like Man City or something, not hold it in the midfield or defense. And like they will be creating more chances. I'm not sure if Morata will be starting or not. He might be. I mean, I don't see him being dropped at the recent start. I don't see him scoring.
Yeah, even I don't.
I think I might predict something which might be a wild card. I think the goals would be scored from midfield. I think Pedri or someone will step up and finish it. I'm not sure about the strikers. Maybe Saul or whoever's playing. I think the midfield will play a much more role in attacking and scoring than the attackers and everything. Like they've been out of form for quite a while. Like Moreno missed a penalty and then Morata missed a tap in after the penalty and then Morata missed a penalty. I think their shooting boots have missed out. I think the midfielders are going to play a huge role. And I would favor Spain against Croatia in this lineup.
Yeah. Okay,
let's move on.
Yeah, so let's we'll end this one here, and we'll come back with part 2 for the Euros knockout preview. And the part 2 shouldn't take too long after part 1. I think they'll both be out on the same day most likely. So look forward to it, and thanks for watching.